So now let's model a cartoon car in Cinema 4D. So in order to model a cartoon car, I'm going to take a car image as a reference. So I'm going to go over to the right view right here. I'm going to go on to options and then I'm going to go to configure. So on the back view right here, I'm going to select an image. So on my desktop, I got car as a folder. So I'm going to use that image as a reference. So I'm using this image as a reference. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a polygonal pen as my tool right here. And what I'm going to do is simply trace over onto the car. So to trace over onto the car, what I can simply do is just click here, and then you can simply just go around just like that. So you can click around in the car over here and you can choose the points just like that, as you can see. So I'm not going to choose a point over here, but I need to connect everything out later. So I'm going to leave that one out for later. So I'm going to select everything out just like this. There you go. This one over here. And I'm going to redo all of it over here as well. So I'm going to select all of these out just like that. And for the tires, I'm just going to select all of these out over here, just like this. And there you go. So I'm going to go over here, click it. There you go. And there's a flat piece of panel, as you can see. So all of it is there. So you can see that a basic trace is done. So you got the polygon. But we are not done here. What we need to do when we are modeling is we need to make sure all of the faces are quad, meaning the edges should be four-cornered. So I can actually make divisions over here, as you can see. So over here, I'm going to make a division. So this is a four-corner face. This one is a four-corner face as well. So I can do the same with this one, and I can do the same with this one as well. I can do the same with this one as well. So four-cornered face works better when you're modeling out. So this actually works out well till this one, just like that. So you can see that four corner is not over here. So I'm just going to create a division over here. And then I'm going to create one division over here. So these are all four cornered, as you can see. But this one is not four cornered. It's five corners. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to create another division over here, just like this. And now it is four cornered, as you can see. So that's four cornered over here, four cornered, four cornered, 4, 4, and there you go. That's done. So let's work around with these now. So I'm going to make this one four cornered. I'm going to make this one four cornered, as you can see. So this one is four cornered. Okay, doesn't work that well. Anyways, I can just join these out, and that is four cornered now. So I'm just going to join up with this, join this up with this one with this one. And four cornered shapes are important because it makes edge loops easier. So that's going to go over here, just like this. So this one is going to be tri-face. So I'm just going to create another division right here and create. So all of them are four cornered, as you can see right here. So that makes adding edge loops easier once you work with this. So now I'm going to make up the top part right here. So I'm going to go and start creating one over here, just like this. So let me start from over here. So let me go over here, click it, click, 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 and click. There you go. So there's a division right there. But there's no four corners over here. So I need to create four corners over here. So I need to create one over here, as you can see, just like that. But this does not work out quite well. So let me just remove it back because I still get the holes right here. So I'm not going to join this right ahead. So I'm going to leave the joining to later on. So I'm just going to go over here and create the details as required, just like this. I'm going to click, click, and bring out the details. I'm going to leave a bit of gap right here. Click here, click here. All right, click over here, and over here, just like this. Doesn't matter if we don't have the equal number of points right about this point. So gonna go over here, click, 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 and there you go. So that's it. So now I'm going to close the shape off. So over here, there's a quad corner, there's a quad face, and a quad face right here. So now there's another quad face right here. This one is not actually a quad face, so I'm just going to remove this out. So I'm just going to create this face right just like that. All right, there you go. So doesn't work around well over here on this section. So I'm just going to divide these off. And over here, this is a quad face right here. And this one is a quad face. This one is another quad face. This one is another quad face. And this one is another quad face right there. So once everything is done, you can see that it's one single shape right here. It's in a single polygon. So now what I can do is I can go over here and you see that the shape is there. So I need to merge these out. I need to merge these points. So I'm just going to select these points right here. I'm going to select stitch and sew. So I can just click and drag it, and there you go, it's sewed on. I'm going to do the same with this one. So I'm going to select these objects right here. I'm just going to select this and this, and this and this, and sew the object right here. So I'm going to sew this, just like that. And now I'm going to select this object right here, and I'm going to sew this as well. So sew, sit and sew, click and drag, and there you go. So you can see that the car shape is there. So if I were to add in something like a subdivision surface right here and drag it in, you can see that everything is kind of smooth. So this may be something we want in the future. But anyways, right now I'm going to leave it normal. So I'm just going to drag it out. So now what I want to do is extrude this shape out. So I got the basic car shape, as you can see, by tracing out everything just like that. I can also work around with the details, but we're going to leave that to a while. So but I do need the details in the window, so we're going to leave out that for the future. So now I'm going to just extrude this out a bit. So I'm going to go on to polygon, I'm going to right click, I'm going to click on extrude right here. So on the options, I'm going to enable the caps for this one. So I need to select the object. That's something I forgot. Anyways, I'm going to go to the extrude right here. So on right click, and then I'm going to go on to the extrude. So just right click on the object, on the face that is. So select all the faces first. So I'm going to go to the rectangular tool, select all the faces, right click, and then I'm going to click on extrude. So extrude is there, just like that. On the tool over here, I'm going to create the caps, click the tool, apply, and there you go. The tool has been extruded just like that. So I can actually extrude this out, and there you go, you see the car right there. But the car shape is not supposed to be like this. So I'm just going to create a small bulge right here, and I'm going to duplicate the entire shape and then merge them out later on. So over here you can see that I got the car, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the polygon right here. I'm going to go back to the object mode, and I'm going to click and drag up a duplicate version of the car just like that. And now I'm going to extrude just the edges over here. So I'm going to go to the edges. I just want to select the edges of this. So I'm going to go into live selection over here. And now what I want to do is I just want to extrude the edges over here. So there you go. These are just the edges, as you can see. So I can go over here and select these out. But to do this is too time consuming. So I'm just going to go to select, and since I'm selecting the loop, I'm going to go to select and I'm going to go to loop selection. So once you do that, so you can see that I can entirely select the loop right here. So I'm selecting this loop right here, and what I can simply do is extrude this out. So I'm going to go over here onto this tool right here and extrude this out just like this. Let's do the same with the other shape over here as well. So I'm going to go over here onto the other shape, and then I'm going to select the shape. So I'm going to go on to the select tool right here on the select tool, and I'm going to go over here, right? So there's a bit of an error right here. So I'm going to go to loop selection. So I'm going to go to the S, select, and loop selection. So I can simply select the S right here, and then I can go over here and then extrude this out as well. So you can see that now this actually looks like a car. Now the face over here is what we are going to delete later on, so it does look like a car later on. But anyways, we're going to just merge these out now. So I'm going to select both of the shapes right here, and I can merge these shapes out. So I'm going to select both of these objects. I can right click and I can connect objects. So a third object actually pops up. So I can select the two objects deleted because I just need the merged objects right here. So now I can select the S loop. So I'm going to go over here onto the edge selection tool on the loop selection. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select this as well, as you can see. And what I can do is I can merge these out. So let me just right click. I'm going to go to stitch and sew, click and drag, and there you go. That has been merged, as you can see right there. So now what I can do is from over here, I can select out the face and delete those out as well. So I'm just going to select the face and delete out the face as well, just like that. And there you go. The face has been deleted over here. So I can create further level of details, but let's keep as it is for right now. So on the polygon, now what I can do is I can add in a subdivision surface right here. So I can add in subdivision surface, so you can see that everything is kind of smooth right now. So, but this area, as you can see, is not very smooth as per my liking. So what I can do is I can add an edge loop to make the areas which I want sharp. So over here, what I want to do is I want to add in some edge loops. So I'm going to press my edge tool right here. I'm going to press K and L so that my edge loop tool actually pops up. So whichever area where I want sharpness, I'm going to add in an edge loop. So over here, you can see that here is where I want an edge loop. So I'm going to add in an edge loop right here. This is where I want sharpness. So I'm going to add in edge loop over here. So let's turn on the subdivision space, and you can see the difference, as you can see. So I want sharpness here. Just click here. Sharpness here. Click here. You want sharpness over here. Click here. Sharpness over here, and click here, just like that. And there you go, we have an edge loop right over here. So this is where I still want the smoothness, so I can just keep it that way. And this is where I want sharpness, so I'm just going to click here, and there you go. So you can see in real like how this actually works out. So add an edge loop, you get the sharpness right over there. I'm going to add in sharpness over here as well, and there you go. So no sharpness over here, that's fine. So let me go on to this side right here and click on over here to add in a bit of an edge loop right here. So you can see that the sharpness actually pops up just like that. I can also click over here, and there you go. There's the sharpness just like that. So you can see that there's a bit of an error right there. So let me just leave that out and keep it as smooth as possible right there. This happens because of a bit of a modeling error right over there as well. So over here, you can see that you cannot add in any edge loop over here. But anyways, I'm going to add in some details just like that. So add one over here, add one over here, just like that. So you can see that you get the details out just like that. Add in an edge loop, and there's the level of detail that you want to work with. So add one over here, add an edge loop, add one edge loop over here, and one over here, just like this. Add one over here and over here, one over here as well, because I want the corners to be seen just like that. So it does look like a cartoon car right there. So you can see that I have modeled a skeleton of a car right there, and this is what we come up with. So this is the cartoon car that we modeled out of the shape right here, just like this. So now what I can do is I can add in further details right here. So let's say I want to add in the lamps. So let's say, for example, I can actually take spears for this, and I don't need to go into much detail because this is a cartoon car. So I'm just going to go over here and use this as a reference and move this around just like that. So I'm going to select this out, move this around over here, and there you go. So you have this over here just like this, and there you go. So there are headlamps over here. So I need one for the back as well. So that is going to be somewhat rectangular. So I'm just going to go over here and add in some division segments onto the rectangular shape right here, like 4 by 4 by 4. And then what I'm going to do is on the cube, I'm going to add in a subdivision polygon. So there you go. So just drag it in the subdivision polygon right here. So now I can convert this into a polygon shape itself. So I can resize it respectively, just like that. So I can go over here and then resize this out over here however I want. So just resize this out just like this, resize it, and there you go. So that's the backlight as well. So I'm going to go over here and drag these out as well. Just go over here, drag these out. So just drag the subdivision surface over here as the backlight. So that's the backlight as well, as you can see right there. So go over here, click and drag, and there you go. There's the two backlights over here. Seems like I forgot to actually remove a face over here at the back, which I can simply do right now. So I'm just going to go over here onto my faces mode right here. So subdivision is on, and I can delete this shape and delete this shape. I kind of like the roundness, so I'm just going to keep it over here just like that. So this is how you actually model out the main elements. So let's get on with the rest of the elements right here. So I'm going to go over with a torus for my tire right there. So I'm just going to rotate this out. So let's go over here, and I'm going to rotate this out right here. So I'm going to select the tire. I'm going to go into the rotation, and there you go. I need to rotate the car right here on 90 degrees right here. So let's rotate this out. Okay, seems like that has not been applied right there on the object axis, on the set axis right here. So let me just go to the selection tool and the object mode to actually work around with this. So on the axis, let me just go over here and rotate this out on around 90 degrees right here. There you go. And rotate this around on the other side as well in 90 degrees right over here. It's like this. So let's go over here and select the object. So on the torus, so let's resize this out, and I'm going to keep this over here just like this. So keep this as a tire, and there you go. So there's the tile right here. All right, so once that's done, I need to add in the inner elements as well. So that's going to be a simple, let's say, let's say something like a cylinder. So I'm going to rotate that out. So I'm just going to go over here onto the rotation right here, onto the rotation, right? So not this side, but over here on the other side. Yes, there you go. So I'm going to do 90 degrees right over here. And then on the cylinder, I'm going to decrease the height over here, just like this. And then on the side, let me just bring this onto the side over here and align it well on with the tire. So on the side, I'm just going to align it well on with the tire and bring it inward over here, just like this. And there you go. That's my cartoon tire right over there. So I can also group out these objects, as you know. So I can actually make a cylinder the tile of the torus, as you can see. So now all I need to do is copy these out, and you can see that my tire is done, my cartoon tire is done. Just click and drag and copy these out just like that. And over here, just like this, copy these out, and there you go. There's my back tire as well, and I can scoot it up just like this. And there you go. There's my tire, as you can see right here. So let's go over here onto this section and then start making the mirrors. So now I'm going to use the polygonal pen tool, and I'm not going to worry about the number of faces now, because I do not need to actually smooth those out. So I'm going to go over here onto the mesh, onto the polygonal pen, and I'm just going to drag over here the shape that I want. So this is the shape that I want. There you go. I do not need to worry about how the shape turns out. So I'm just going to go over here on this side as well, just like this, and go over here as well. So there you go. So over here on the side, you can see that the glass, it actually looks like a glass enclosing everything out, just like that. So this polygon, so I'm just going to go over here onto the side, just like that, and there you go. It covers up everything. So since we cannot see the inside, we're not going to work too much on it. As you can see right here, it covers that out as well. So I need to work out on the front side of the car, as you can see. So let us work out with the front side over here. So I can work around with the top side or the front side, depends on what I want. I'm going to enable the shaded view so that I can actually see what is going on. So there you go. You can see that this is the shape I want. So I'm going to go on to the polygonal pen tool right here. So I'm going to create, I'm going to go over here onto the polygonal pen, and then I can actually just start making this out. So I can go over here onto the side, let's say over here on from this side into this one, and over here. So I just made a straight line, as you can see right there. So seems like that's quite hard to control like that. So I just need to make one right out over here, right? Make one from over here, from over here, from over here, and here, just like that. And there you go. On the side, as you can see, there's a polygon right over here. So I can actually go on to this selection tool, and I'm going to rearrange everything out right here. So rearrange this out so it actually works around with this. On the side, let's go around with this, it's like this. And I'm going to work around with these objects as well. So I'm going to go on to the polygon right over here. So I can go over here onto the polygon and bring it up just like this as well. So you can see that that has been covered up as well. So that's how the car actually looks like now. The back cover, we can actually work around with that as well. So I'm going to go on to the top view again as a reference, and I'm going to make a shape right over here. So I'm going to go over here onto the shape, onto the, let's say, my create polygon tool. So on the polygon, I'm just going to create a shape which I can use to cover these up. So just go over here and create a shape which I can cover this up using. So I'm going to go over here and then move it around onto the side, just like this. So I can move it around onto the side. Seems like I created it on the same plane, but it actually does not matter. I can actually just work around with the object right here and move this out over here. So on from the side, I'm going to move this up over here, just like this, over onto the side, and I'm going to select both of these objects as well, and that's how you cover them up, just like that. So you can see that this is how you work around with the objects. So I can go around, select these objects as well, and arrange it according to how I want, just like this. So I can expand this in size as well, just like that, and that has been covered as well. So let's move it down over here, just like this. So that's my car, as you can see. So now it's time to color them up. So I'm going to go over here onto the material right here, and the green is the color used for that car, as you can see. So this is going to be the car body, this is going to be the body, and I'm going to create another material for the headlights, as you can see right here. So this is going to be headlights, and that's going to be the brake lights right there. On the back side, this is going to be brake lights, and then these are going to be the tire, right? So drag one over here, not inside but only outside, one over here and one over here, and this another one is going to be the rim of the tire. So I'm going to say rim, enter, drag one out over here, one over here. Right now you don't see anything, but not to worry, we can control everything out there. And the next one we're going to work with is glass, just like that. So glass, just drag it onto the windows right here, just like that, and there you go. So now I'm going to start coloring everything out. So on the body, I'm going to keep a reflectance right here. So I'm going to add in a Beckman view right here. So it is shiny, as you can see, but I do not want it very reflective, just a bit reflective right here. And I'm going to use green as the color as in our reference image. You can see that now it is colorful, as you can see. For the headlights, I'm going to use yellow. So let me just select the yellow over here. Let's double click, or you can go over here and then you can go for yellow, bright yellow color over here. And in the basic, you can also illuminate this. So I'm going to add in illuminance over this so that it actually glows out. So in the luminance, I'm just going to decrease the brightness a bit. I just want it to glow out a bit. For the brake light, I'm going to use red. So on the red side, I'm just going to go over here, and there you go. I do want a bit of a luminance over here as well, but not too much. So I'm going to go on to the luminance, on the brightness, just bring it down a bit, just like that. I want a red luminance right here. So on the side, on the tire, inside, I want a metal-like color, and I want it to be shiny a bit. So I'm going to go on to the headlight as well. On the reflectance, I do want some, because it is shiny as well. So I'm going to add in a Beckman over here. So add a Beckman and then reduce the size a bit, just like that. That does the trick. Same goes for here. I'm going to add a Beckman and bring down the reflectiveness over here. On the tire, now what I'm going to do is add in a Beckman as well. So I'm going to go over here on and add in a Beckman just like that and reduce the size a bit. So I just want to add this to the tire, so I don't actually need Beckman over here, just like this. So I'm just going to remove the Beckman. I just need one on the rim. So I'm going to add in a Beckman on the rim right here and then reduce the size of it. And in the color, I'm going to go over here and give it a dark look right here, maybe a brighter metal-like look onto the rim. So on the tire now, I want a plain dark shade of a rubbery-like substance right there. And in the glass, I want a reflectance, so I really want a high level of reflectance on the glass. And just a bit right over here, maybe a bit of transparency as well. So I'm going to go on to the transparency settings right here. And maybe I do not want it very transparent. I do want a bit of a color over there onto this, and there you go. So there's a bit of a color onto this. And then this is the refraction preset of a glass, so that's fine, as you can see. And absorption color, distance, maybe color, that's fine, everything is there. So reflectivity, I just want to reduce it a bit, so it's not very transparent, as you can see right here. So it looks like this, and that's fine. That's pretty bright for a glass, so I'm just going to select another color right here, so something like a dark glass right there. So this is the rim, everything out. I'm going to add in an environmental lighting now. So over here, I'm going to say physical sky. So you see that everything is right here. You can go to the light as well, as you can see. But anyways, I'm going to add in physical sky right here. And now I can render everything out. So this is actually below the ground, as you can see. So I need to group everything out. So I need to create a null object that is going to be used as my parents, and I'm going to select everything out over here, and I'm going to keep it onto the null objects. So I'm going to keep the null object above, so just on the ground level, and I'm going to go on and create a floor just like that. So I do not need a very reflective floor. I just need it to be rough, just like that. That's fine. So I'm going to go on to the floor right here. I'm going to select the floor, and I'm going to add in a material onto this one as well. So I'm going to go on to the material and give it a dark texture like a roll. So now let's render this out and see how everything looks like. So I'm going to press Ctrl R, and it processes everything out. And now you can see that there's the cartoon car that we actually made. So this is how it looks like. So this is how you model a cartoon car inside of Cinema 4D. So hope you guys learned something as always. And as always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.